a speaker
How
or
about
something.
that? Is that better?
You just try to get a little bit close. All right. So where's the
Okay.
hand from and the size and all that?
235 at California Grand in the Bay Area.
Okay.
$1,000 buy-in.
Okay.
I'm 1,600 effective. Villain is about 1,850.
Okay.
I'm on a button in for two, and there's a straddle out there. This lady straddles every hand. She's calling everything, so targeting her. She straddles, fold, mid position two, very tight fold player, Johnny Chan style, like aces above. He makes it 30, and I'm on the button. I look down at ace five of hearts. Definitely in my three betting range. I wasn't specifically targeting him because his bigger, when he had big pocket pairs, it was 50. He was doing a lot of suited broadways to 25, 30. I was more targeting the $10 straddle because I knew she was going to call. So I three bet 275. Straddle calls. Straddle actually folds, which was very surprising. The first time I see her fold. Mid position calls.
Okay, stop
So
right there. Stop right there because I got to explain
Yeah.
some things. So in the Bay Area, 235, the small blind is on the button, the smallest blind. So you're in for two on the button. This lady straddles to
Yeah.
10 from the UTG spot, and this guy
Yeah.
makes it 30. You are on the button with ace five of hearts, and you raise to 75 because you say you want the straddle out. Now, what's interesting about this hand, and I found it I was observing, I did the commentary for Live at the Bike on Friday last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
By myself. And
Yeah.
a lot of these guys, including Garrett, the guy that everybody loves, were doing a
Mm-hmm.
fair amount of flat calling with ace five suited. I think people don't understand the purpose of putting in multi-bets with ace five suited. It's a bluff. It's like your primary bluffing type of hand. And if you
Yeah.
don't think a guy is really ever going to necessarily fold to a three bet, and they have a strong range, you can easily call with the hand. It's not a mandatory three bet all the time. It does play well as sort of your primary kind of bluffing hand if you want to keep it balanced, but just because
Absolutely.
you have ace five doesn't necessarily give you the liberty to always, three bet necessarily. Now, the
Yeah.
background that you said is that you don't think this guy has a big hand, because if you told me he's an OMC and now he's raising to 30 here, I was like, I would flat with ace five. Like, why am I going to three bet? Like, the guy probably has a
Absolutely.
strong hand, you know?
Absolutely. And I'm getting my feet wet. I'm a tournament player. This is like my sixth time playing cash. I honestly just wanted to mix it up. I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I'm just tinkering around right now with my three betting. And but I completely agree. After I looked at it, I think it's definitely just a flat.
So you make it 75 and he calls and your head's up.
Yeah.
Okay. So 150 to the
Heads
flop.
up.
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
Absolute gen flop, 4-2-10 all hearts, 170 in the pot roughly. Villain leads out for 75. I mean, we have a strong, we have a hammer lock on this. So
you flop the
just
nut
flat.
flop, because I'm going to have to repeat the action because you're a
Yeah.
little bit difficult. The connection's
Sorry,
not great.
sorry.
You flop the nut flush with ace five of hearts. The
Yeah.
board is four of hearts, deuce of hearts, 10 of hearts. The villain
Yeah.
leads at you for 75. This is interesting here, and I remember this hand now when you emailed it in. Now, if you're
Yeah.
new to the site and you're looking at this and you're like, oh my God, like, I flopped gin. One of the oldest things I used to say on Crush Live Poker is that if you want to win the most amount of money with the nut flush, the best way to play it deceptively is fast. Now, obviously, and the reason why is because you get value from second best hands, because no other flush will ever fold because you're playing the nut flush so strong, like a king high or queen high. But the thing about this is that obviously it is a three bet pot. But there's another reason why I want to raise here as opposed to flat. I don't think this guy is really going to be bet folding a whole lot when he leads into you, into the three better. And also, once you call, he's not going to be doing a lot of betting into you on the turn. So you don't necessarily, this is my perceptive, you don't necessarily gain much by flatting here. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if he's not going to continue
totally
to bet, and you're also going to get value because he's not going to bet fold, it looks sort of counterintuitive why you would raise when you just smack the flop. And I know people might say, well, I'm not raising with any other hand, so how can I raise with this hand? While that's true, we're trying to maximize our EV at this particular game given this type of background. So
So
I
would you have
would
made that
probably
about? Would you
raise.
have made it 200?
I probably would have made it 175 to 200. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Definitely.
So
Okay.
you
I
called?
appreciate that. I just called.
Okay.
That's why I called.
Yep.
Turn is a 9 diamond. Okay, and now I'm putting on him. I mean, I've seen this guy play Johnny Chan, Queens plus. I really think he has kings with the king of hearts. That's what I felt at the time. So, that's one of the reasons I should have raised the flop because he's never folding there, obviously. But the turn is a 9 diamond. He checks.
See, there we go. That's to be expected. That's why I feel like the raise on the flop, because I just feel like there's going to be a lot of checking that's going to go on here on the turn once you flat. So he checks. Obviously, you got to bet to build the pot up, right?
Yeah. So
yep.
I think you might hate my sizing here, because one thing I've learned from you is at these stakes you don't leave meat on the bone. I bet 140.
I don't think that's. I mean, you guys start
okay.
with. Oh, you start with 1600. So, yeah, you want to get some money in the pot. So that's the other thing too is that when he leads, and then because you have the ace of hearts in your hand here too, it means that he's not. I don't know if he's calling with an offsuit Broadway hand. So this is a lot of people are saying this, in the chat too. It can be a lot of over pairs that have hearts in them that still aren't going to fold. So you've got to get the money in, whether it's a raise on the flop or betting larger here on the turn. I would probably bet at least 250, but okay, you go to 140 at 1600 effective. So you bet 140, okay.
So you said you would have bet 250?
If I had flatted, I would go 250 plus here on the turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where it gets crazy. He calls.
Okay.
River is the 10 of diamonds.
So the pot is 580, and we roll to the river, and it's
the pot is 600, if I recall.
What? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right around there. 580, 600.
Yeah.
So river's the 10 of diamonds, so it pairs the board.
He pairs the board. Obviously, now we could not have the nuts, but I'm still very confident in my hand. He now leads for 350.
He leads for 350.
Yeah, he leads for 350, and this guy, anytime he bets big, I mean, he's shown. I mean, he hit a royal an hour earlier. I mean, it's so strong. And Bart, I sat there and I honestly almost just called, thinking nine's full. Quad 10,
let's go over this. We got about 2.5 minutes left, so let me think of the way that I think of this spot is okay. So, what hand are we beating here? Like, if we're ever thinking about raising, like, what is going to call us? And then I would start to think about, well, what if he flopped the flush along with us too? But then I'm looking back at the action, and it's like he's not going to play a flopped flush as a bet on the flop and then a check just to check call. Like, this line is almost never going to be a flop flush because it's very rare for him to bet out. And if he checks the turn, he's going to go for a check raise. And he's not going to just kind of donk lead the river. So I sort of take a lot of these flushes out. He seems tight anyways. I don't even know. There aren't that many combinations of suited Broadways anyway. So then you look at it and it's like, well, what if he thinks he's sort of like block betting with like queens with the queen of hearts or something like that? Yeah. You say that he's probably not going to do that because the sizing is really large, and I don't think he's going to call a raise with those hands either. He shouldn't have a 10 here really all that much. You have the ace of hearts, so he can't really have ace 10, and like I guess maybe he could have like jack 10 or queen 10. So the real value spots that you're looking for here is to try to get value from a 10. I'm not even sure.
And smaller flushes, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if smaller flushes are going to if he's going to have smaller flushes given this line, though. So nines, I don't really buy that much either as just a check call on turn. I think that continues to bet if you were to bet like nines with the 9 of hearts. I can see a nit call here, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess it would just be quad 10s or like pocket 4s or pocket deuces, but jack 10, king 10 suited. I mean, he leads for 350.
Yeah.
Do you have enough money to like raise fold here? Like if he makes it 350, can you make it like 700 and then fold to a raise? Yeah,
right.
If you're going to get priced in, I think that it's probably just going to be a call. If I don't want to put myself in a spot where I want to raise fold, I could certainly see calling here for sure. People are
Okay.
saying fold.
So
No,
I'm
no, I'm
glad
talking
that
about
makes
raise,
me
fold, or
feel a
just
little
call.
better.
What ended up happening?
So I made it 850.
Okay.
He insta shoves. I mean, insta shoves.
Wow.
And now I'm looking there. It's about another 460, 500 to me. I'm getting like 5.5 to 1.
Yeah, but I
Um,
mean, this is the issue. This is why you can't raise and then call off because you're never going to
yes,
be good here.
I
Um,
completely agree, Bart. Um, and let me ask you this: do you fold this ever?
I wouldn't have made
Player
it this
defender.
sizing. I wouldn't have made it this sizing if I probably
What
wouldn't
would
have
you
made
have
it
made
this
it?
sizing. I mean, if once you make it 850 and now, now you only have what, like 500 left and the pot is
Yeah,
something like what, 2500, 500 to call.
yeah, 2,300 or something. Yeah.
I still might fold. I gotta be honest with you. If it's 500 more for me
Okay.
to, if it's 500 more for me to call, I still might fold here. I don't think you
Okay.
ever have the best hand. This is about 100% of the time.
So
So
5 minutes go by. I get the clock called on me, and I called. Um,
yeah,
just just ready to see nines full. He flopped over king 10 of clubs.
King 10 of clubs that he raised the river all in with King 10 of clubs.
Yes, after my strong line of 850, I was. I mean, he flipped it over like pay me my money, like he trapped me. I would. This whole. I mean, I've been thinking about it for 2 days. I was just so confused. I mean, I don't think I'll ever see that. I mean, was that a semi bluff, or did you really just think that I had like the naked ace of hearts?
I mean, it's just a spaz play that makes absolutely no sense. You say he has King 10 of clubs, so you have the best hand, right?
Yeah, I won with the nut flush. I was my biggest pot to date. I've only been playing 2-5 for a couple months, so.
That's pretty crazy.
And so, and it was I had you on my shoulder with the whole never leave meat on the bone at this state, and don't be afraid of monsters under the bed, and I look back on it, and I think 80% of the time I'm going to see a full house here.
I mean, this is again though,
What
like
per,
when you want to raise for value, I think sometimes you want to basically, allow yourself to sometimes, if you think your opponent's always going to call, then yes, but